welcome back. Today we're going to talk about clip speed adjustments in iMovie 10.0. So we're going to talk about how to speed things up, slow things down, even reverse them, and we're also going to talk about audio and the sounds and how the pitch gets messed with when you start slowing things down or speeding things up. So iMovie 10.0, clip speed, let's get to it. My goodness, there is a lot to talk about when we talk about clip speed. So first thing we have to do is discuss the camera itself. Most cameras record film somewhere between 24 and 30 frames per second, and that's the rate that it gets played back to us, and we look at it and think, oh man, that's really nice and smooth and pretty. So if you take something that's been shot at 24 frames per second and then slow it down and play it back at like half speed, it's going to be 12 frames per second, and it's going to look choppy and jittery, and it doesn't look good. So you can slow things down. Just keep in mind there is going to be a little bit of a trade-off there. Unless, there's always a big unless, right? So I've got a Canon 7D SLR, and it is capable of recording at 60 frames per second. So that means I can slow it down and I can play back at 30 frames per second, and that will be half the speed. Are you with me so far? So let's start with some footage that I've got, and this was not filmed at 60 frames per second. This is filmed at just a standard 24. Okay, I'm going to select some footage and place it in my timeline, and if I put my playhead here, press play, you can see that this is just playing back at a regular frame rate. Nothing amazing apart from his tricks. Really cool, right? So let's select that. So it's highlighted, it's in yellow, and you're going to want to adjust the frame rate before you do any other adjustments. So if I press 3, I've got my adjustment panel up here, and don't mess with that until we've adjusted the rate of speed that we're working with, okay? Now, if you go right up into modify and slow motion, you're going to get frustrated because the controls are grayed out. What you need to do is double click on it first, and this will bring up the precision clip editor. Come on. There we go, like so. So we've got this clip trimmer precision editor up, and now if we go into modify and slow motion, then we've got our options available. So I'm just going to cut this to 50% and double click back on it now, and let's see what it looks like. All right, so you can see that the audio is slowed down with it. Everything is slow, and it looks the same except slower, I guess. Okay, so you're noticing that the sound has been reduced in pitch because it's slowed down. One way that you might be tempted to fix that is to go in and change the audio effect, which is pretty cool. You can do a pitch up so that it sounds normal, just slowed down. Okay, so you hear that voice, and it sounds correct. There's an easier way to do this. Let's go down to the clip and click on this turtle, and it shows us the speed that we've got everything set at. And look at this, you can just hit preserve pitch, and what that'll do is that'll automatically adjust the pitch to the rate of speed that your clip is playing back at. And that's really important because what happens if we do this and go really, really slow, this will keep the pitch the same. Whereas if you use the audio effect before, the pitch wouldn't match up anymore. Now I'm just going to use that as a springboard to show you this tool that I just showed you, this little time slider, which is really cool. You can drag it and slow down a clip. And I guess I get geeky here. I like how the visual just stretches it out because that's exactly what's happening. So you're like playing with the space-time continuum here. If you've preserved the pitch, it's going to keep it the same no matter how fast or how slow you do this. Of course, there's one other really interesting option that's given to us, and it's kind of buried, and I know that people have been asking about this. It's how to reverse a clip. So now that we've got this turtle showing up, we can click on the turtle and reverse it just by ticking that checkbox. And I bet you've never seen somebody pull one of these before. Oh! Yeah, he pulled that clean. All right, I hope that you've learned something useful today. We've covered how to adjust the clip speed from slow motion to high speed. We've learned how to reverse things and how to adjust the audio. So you guys go out there and roll those cameras, start putting together some wonderful movies, and we'll see you next time.